Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're here a mini episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who is going for a race with me in Yarnum tonight?
I am the Let's Play Princess Phoebe Stanton, and man, these moon shards are really tasty.
And this is Joseph Larrey, and I just have to ask, does the night call out for all?
And Phoebe, what the hell are we talking about?
Ladies, gentlemen, and eldritch abominations, start your engines, because where we're going, we don't need sanity. Drive through the city of Merodia as a lowly hunter in the story mode, or online with friends as one of many creatures of the night. Will you survive long enough to awaken from the dream? Will you collect 3 hidden moon shards to face the dreamer itself? Or will you drift deeper and deeper into this eternal nightmare cart?
That was good.
Yeah, I'm hooked now.
So we're here to talk about Nightmare Kart, developed by LVV Media, and came out in 2024, like a couple months ago.
Did you say LVV Media?
Is that what is your LW Media?
It's LW Media. Her name is Lilith Weber. You're just stuck with the witch now.
Yeah, that probably is accurate then. We're doing this for 2 reasons. One, because a long time ago, we used to be friends, but I haven't thought about you lately at all. I love that show. Phoebe had put this on the Discord, join the Discord people, and had suggested it, and I was like, okay, back when it was still Bloodborne Kart, and then by the time that finally got released, it became Nightmare Kart because she got a cease and desist letter.
Even though Bloodborne PSX is still allowed to exist.
Well, I mean, I'm okay that this got switched because if it wouldn't have, then it wouldn't have been officially on Steam, so maybe more people will play it.
That is fair. And now we have achievements for it.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm not surprised that they got a little upset. They probably were like, hey, we can't have Bloodborne on PC. No, not even a fake one. No. Oh, yeah. I mean, at least it wasn't Nintendo.
Oh, God. We are not going to talk about that because a new Metroid project just got announced, and all I can think is, you guys are idiots.
Yeah, you don't announce it till it's done with Nintendo.
Yeah. You just finish it, and then you go, hey, look, I've been working on this for the last 2 years. Like, here you go. Like, you can't, when you're trying to make something like this, something that's fan made with any, like, you got to be quiet because eventually they're going to shut you down because they have, like, legally, they almost have to, because if they don't stop you, then they kind of give up their right to stop other people. And Nintendo learned that from King Kong.
Or you just make it a 1 to 1.00001% difference for each character.
I mean,
this one is Mikolash turning into Nicholas, but the map for his boss fight is exactly 1 to 1.
It is. Yeah. I was flying through. I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, there's even the part where you can go die, you can drop to your death, like I did once in that fight. So
it's so good.
It made me laugh. This game surprised me. So it's a kart racer was supposed to be Bloodborne characters, but they're still Bloodborne characters. His name is changed, and they're like you said, Phoebe, like one thing different to make them not legally.
a very light palette swap, but I mean, Nicholas still has a cage on his head, still runs. You have Lady Mary, who is not Maria, but has the pointed hat, the feather cap, all of it, and her cart is still clock tower based. It didn't matter enough.
Hell, the clock tower you go to in this has a weird garden with a big tree right in the center before you get to the clock tower where she's at.
It's so good.
So, Joseph, I have to ask, what is your history with Bloodborne in general? Are you a Bloodborne fan?
Yeah, I am a Souls fan. It has been a while since I played Bloodborne, but I did play it when it came out originally. Really enjoyed it. I'm part of those people that would wish Sony would re-release it again officially, but yeah, no, and just to get ready for this review, I went back, watched a couple of YouTube videos just to remind myself of the crazy lore that is Bloodborne.
Yes. And Phoebe, I know you're a Bloodborne fan. You were on the episode with us not too long ago when you're hearing this. So I also want to ask, are you guys fans of kart racers? I am not a fan of racing in general. I mean, kart racers are fine, but I really don't care for them. Hence the reason why this is only the second one ever on this podcast. So they're just not my thing. What about you, Phoebe?
I've only ever personally bought one kart racer myself, and that was the remake for Crash Team Racing.
That's the only one you need.
I was gonna say, but I have played a lot of them in the past. I've played, just about every incarnation of Mario Kart. I've played Jack X, if that counts.
That does.
And so, yeah, I would say that even though I don't normally play these games except for somebody's house or at a demo kiosk, I do like this genre a lot.
Okay. And Joseph?
It's kind of similar to Phoebe. I'm a big Crash Team Racing fan, but I too have played a lot of these games, like obviously Mario Kart. I don't know if anybody remembers Speed Freaks on the PlayStation 1.
No.
The Chocobo racing games, those are entertaining as well.
Those are pretty good.
Never
so
played those.
They're not bad.
I want to. I have a goal, something that don't know if it'll ever happen, but where I want to play every Squaresoft game on this podcast.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm not bad.
Yeah.
But even in general, I just want to play them all myself, and I've never played the Chocobo racing games. So, no, I have different goals I've set for myself in this podcast that I don't really talk about. That, I mean, it'll take fucking 20, 30 years for them to actually happen. Because I have just so many ideas.
And now I can officially start hounding Mike to play Final Fantasy 14.
That's not going to happen. I can't add an online game to my life, so I can't beat that in a week.
How's your Snap, by the way?
I play it less, but I still play it every day. But that's different. That can be played in 3-minute intervals.
This is true.
14 cannot be played in 3-minute intervals, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it could, but I wouldn't get anywhere.
No.
Like, oh, I ran to the edge of town. Oh, there, log off. All right. So, there's a difference. So, this game called Nightmare Kart, I mean, one, I'm happy that because it's legally distinctive, she was able to release it on Steam and itch.io, which it's free, which I feel like she should have charged $1 for it because it's worth more than that, but I get why she did it free since it was essentially going to be a fan-made game. Yeah, I think she made her money off Patreon, so I think she made her money another way.
Yeah, she has a Patreon, and I'm pretty sure she codes and does everything via Maya, and Maya is fucking expensive. It's almost $200 a month the last time I checked.
My God.
Yeah, this is what I went to school for, and it's like, if you don't work for a company, you're never going to afford it yourself.
Well, I mean, that's how it's set up. I mean, to be fair, I mean, that's when you put on insane price tags like that, is to make sure that if you are not a company, corporation, you cannot afford. It's not by accident that things like that happen. Because that's a ridiculous amount. You can just charge $300 for your program, you own it for life. Don't charge someone a monthly thing like that price. Like that's keeping people out of it on purpose. Just like I remember Microsoft Word being ridiculous at one time for what it cost for the license.
Oh yeah, but now you can just get Office as one whole package.
But I remember being like ridiculous at different things. I mean, it's just licensing in general, but that's a whole nother story. But I mean, there's a possibility she has other ways too. So I don't know anything about video game software or creating it. That's not my world. Nor do I want it to be. Job security sounds terrible in that field. So
Yeah, don't work for Xbox. I mean,
I'll stick with what I do. But no, I mean, it's very impressive what she made. So the whole idea is that this game supposed to look like did she make the PS1 Bloodborne remake too?
Yeah,
yes.
That is all Bunleth.
Okay. I don't know anything about her.
Well, she is a streamer. She does have a VTuber model that is a PlayStation 1 bunny model of herself. And she teams up with other PlayStation 1 VTubers like Doofer every once in a while. But for the most part, she makes games and streams. And half of her streams are actually her coding and creating the games live for everybody to see.
That's really cool. All right. I just don't know anything. I don't follow streamers or really anybody like that. Not my world. I don't even watch Twitch except when Marvel Snap tells me to and gives me a free card for it. It's the only time I watch Twitch. So, to go on to Phoebe's joke earlier with the snapping. So I was really surprised. I came into this game with zero expectation. I'm like, okay, Phoebe suggested it. I have a rule. If you put it on the Discord suggestion, I put it on the list, and I get to it, years later. That's how it's been. I haven't done very many from that list. I'm trying to change that. But so I was like, all right, I'll do this. And then, it was on Steam, so I put it on my Steam Deck. I was in a bad mood. I laid on my couch. I'm like, all right, I'll just play this. And then I ended up beating this whole game in pretty much one sitting. I mean, it's not that long. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. But I was having fun. I like story modes in my racers. That's how you get me to play a racer.
And it's really awesome that it's chapter to chapter and that, each chapter actually does something. You might do a few races, but then you'll do a boss fight, then you'll do a, battle royale type thing. There are all these different modes interspersed into the story mode. So that way you get a nice little flavoring of what everything is. So you figure out what you like for when you go onto the online, if you have friends who are online.
Okay. I didn't know this game was online too.
Yeah, it has multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't think there are any dedicated servers. It's more of a you set up a room and invite people in, but it supports a good amount of people, I think.
I still wonder why she didn't sell this, but maybe that was also part of that she couldn't. Otherwise, it would have been a few more issues.
Probably, actually, yeah.
Because it's legally distinctive enough, but it's not that distinctive. I mean, those are still the characters. So.
Well, itch.io allows you to pay whatever you want, right? Like, you can download it for free, but you can still put in a chip jar.
Oh, okay. I didn't do that. I got it on Steam. I wouldn't have paid anyway if you don't make me, but that's me. I'm a cheap bastard. Hey, I do tip people when I go out to restaurants, though. I don't tip you if I just ordered at Chipotle and you're like, hey, give me a tip. And I'm like, nah. But if you are a waiter or waitress, you get a tip always. But I don't. If I can get it for free, I'm just going to get it for free. That's just me. But no, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad that that's there for people that aren't shitty in some ways like me at times. So I'm glad that exists. So I was just surprised. Like, you are right, though. This game changes enough things in the way that the gameplay is that it doesn't get boring. And even though it's renamed, even though the things are a little bit different, I mean, what is the guy that you end up waking up in a dream and you're talking to a guy in a wheelchair named what, Herman? Is that a German?
There's Herman, you have Margot instead of Murgo, you have Onette, who is still a doll. You have Father Gregory. Instead of Eileen the Crow, you have Raven. There's just a whole bunch of them going down the line.
So it just feels like Bloodborne. And you are a hunter. Like, it's Bloodborne. And it just makes me upset that, like, Sony couldn't just be like, hey, you know what? Here, we'll just let you have our blessing. Like, or something. I don't know. But there's probably more legal aspects to that. But it would have been cool. And now I kind of really want a Bloodborne card in real graphics. In today's graphic of Bloodborne. That would be cool.
That would require Sony to do anything with their IPs, of which they have none.
Yes, according to their president, they have no IPs.
I remember. Oh, man. They're stupid sometimes. They have great IPs. I gotta be a legal thing or something. There's gotta be something holding back Bloodborne to why they've never done anything with it. Because they released Horizon how many times now? Like Last of Us? Like, they do stuff. Like, I wonder what it is with Bloodborne that holds it back.
The fact that there's a Last of Us remaster coming out.
Again?
Blows my mind.
Wait, there's another one?
For part 2?
Yeah, part 2.
2.
Yeah.
Wait, no, part 2 just came out.
Yeah, exactly. Do you not see the problem here?
I don't see. I live in a world where everything that happens that I pay attention to video game wise about 5 years after it happens.
I need you to know that there are 2 remasters or 2 versions of Horizon 1 coming out.
Are we counting the Lego one?
I am fucking counting the Lego one.
That's
they
fine.
Can't make me a new Ape Escape game, and that pisses me off.
What's Ape Escape, Phoebe?
I will hit you.
Yeah.
I do know Ape Escape. I played it on the podcast, actually. One of them. But Ape Escape 3, really good game, by the way.
They're all really good games.
They are. I just want to point out that Sony made more Knack games than they have Bloodborne games. Like, that's again.
Again, it has to be a legal reason. I mean, plus they let this happen. Like, yes, they made her legally change the name, but she really didn't change all. I mean, this is pretty damn close. Like, they still could have argued it, I think, if they wanted to.
And the fact that they let it out is pretty chill of them.
Again, it must be some weird legal thing with Bloodborne. I mean, I can't. Maybe the game didn't sell that well, but like I feel like they released other stuff that didn't sell. How they put Morbius back in theaters after that movie bombed. Like, I mean, they do shit that doesn't work, and they try anyway. So
Concord.
I think after Elden Ring's success, I mean, come on, Armored Core sold well after that. You would think Bloodborne would be able to sell better than
Armored Core. Fucking rules.
I'm not doubting that, but it's just been that weird franchise that never sold anything, though.
Yeah, I mean, that series pretty much you had it in 360, then you didn't see it again for a long time. So,
but they can bring back Demon Souls.
Yeah, but there might be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like there's got to be some legal reason to why this is held back. But one thing that this Kart Racer did that I was also surprised of, like, it has your mystery cube, item boxes, but in this one they're little white stars. Fine. But like most of your weapons are guns, which I thought were really cool. You get you get a shotgun, you get a pistol, and I'm like, this just feels like Bloodborne even more.
Yeah, you get a spell that's the homing the homing missiles, and it's really funny that a lot of things could go 1-to-1 with stuff that we know and love from other kart racers. Like that is just the blue shell.
Yeah, I mean, she did a great job of making this game feel like Bloodborne, feel like every other, like a kart racer, and it all molds together and has that PS1 style graphics perfectly.
And the fact that you can mess with the like I streamed this game. The first 15 minutes of my first stream were just messing with the options to make it look as PS1 authentic as I could remember.
Oh, you can. I didn't do any of that, by the way.
Oh yeah, you can set up the CRT blur, how much the screen is warping. Like if you had one of those dome-shaped TV screens versus a flat one, whether or not it's kind of like shifting off of the screen itself. Stuff like that is incorporated into this.
That's cool that she did that. Now, for me, like I didn't notice any of that. I didn't seek it out. I just started the game, looked for subtitles, and that was it. That's how I play my games. But that is really cool that all those options are there. I also didn't play as any other characters. I didn't mess with any of the multiplayer stuff or any. I just played with the single player campaign where you play as the Hunter, and that was it. And then I beat the game, turned it off.
Did you use a cart or did you use a motorcycle?
I switched up a couple times.
Did the motorcycle.
Motorcycle for life, baby. Let's go.
Motorcycle was good. I also switched like the clock tower thing that Maria had.
You mean Mary, legally distinct.
Yeah, it was Maria. But I liked hers a lot, and then I switched around a bit. I did not use the boar because I could not bring myself to do that. So because it looks stupid.
There's probably an achievement for using the boar.
I didn't look at any achievements either. I don't. I try not to look at those.
Well, that's the problem is they just put them, or she just put them into the game. And I recently reopened the game. It doesn't automatically sync, so you have to do everything again. But that just means another 3 hours that I get to play this game.
Took you 3 hours?
Yeah. Because I
probably did a lot more now.
I was going to say, I was fiddling around with stuff. I got the true ending.
That too. The fact that she put put a secret ending in here with a secret boss fight, that's just so Bloodborne.
Yeah. And instead of the umbilical cords, you have the 3 moon shards. And when Nicholas, when you're doing the final chase part against him, he actively tells you where they are. You just have to think, okay, what does this description match to? But in all honesty, it's just there's one hidden in the Father Gregory battle. There's one in the Matilda sisters battle, and there's one in his boss battle.
That's just cool. Joseph, did you find any of those items?
Yes, no, I did get those items on my. I found one of them in my first playthrough, and then the second playthrough, I was able to get all 3 of them and unlock that final board. Did you guys get all the insight?
I got a vast majority of it, but some of those levels, like the second to last race or thing, base game wise, is very much this game's version of Rainbow Road.
Yes.
And the entire rest of the game up until that point was a breeze for me.
Mm-hmm.
But something about that Rainbow Road level, the difficulty just jumped from 1 to 11.
There was a lot of rubber banding when I was playing that level. I don't know if anyone else experienced that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see a lot of rubber banding, but that might have been because in that level I was losing majority of the time. So that might have played a part.
Here's the fun part. Mike, do you know what the insight does?
I know.
Joseph, do you want to say it or should I?
I'll let you take it.
All right. So the insight is pretty much your life system for when you're fighting Merilodia, the Dreamer, which is just this game's version of the Moon Presence. So every time you lose to him, the chase sequence to get to his boss arena, the boss fight itself, etc., you use 3 insights.
Oh, so like essentially you'll get game over?
Yeah. The fun thing is, unlike some other games, I'm looking at you, Yoko Taro, the game doesn't delete your save. So it is just the amount of continues that you have. And so if you lose all of your continues, you can just reload the save. It's not a we delete your save file type of situation.
Okay. I didn't pay any attention to that. I also didn't know what the echoes did. What essentially is echoes?
Blood echoes in this game are the coins in Mario Kart. They
give
up
you the
how
boost.
yeah they up your permanent maximum speed limit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know coins even did that in Mario Kart, by the way.
Yeah, the reason why you can get up to 10 coins in Mario Kart is that you're increasing your cap miles per hour, and that is what Blood Echoes do in this game, but there is no upper limit here.
All right, I didn't know that either. I got some here and there. Like I did, like you can kill people in this game as you're racing and then steal their blood echo, but I didn't know what it did. I just did it here and there because I could.
Yeah, if you ever felt like you were getting slightly faster in the race over time, that's because you were killing stuff.
Okay, this is a very impressive game.
I like how this game encourages you to be very aggressive during the races. That's I think sets it apart from other kart racers. It almost has a Twisted Metal feel to it in some aspects.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Another series that Sony supposedly doesn't own.
Apparently they were making a new one and then they canceled it because why would the world want another Twisted Metal?
I
Because
agree
the
with that
last one was from
statement. Why would you?
2013. I want a new Twisted
Well,
Metal.
have you not played Twisted Metal Black? That is an amazing game.
I have, yes. A lot when it came out back in PS2, yes. It was one of the ones
God,
my friend had.
You're talking to somebody who owned Dead in the Water. I would kill for a new Twisted Metal game.
No, it's not a series that I think much about. It's a series I kind of forget exists, to be honest with you.
You know there was a TV show, right?
Yeah,
It's actually good.
There was a TV show?
It's on Peacock. It's getting a second season. They're finally adding Calypso to the show because he's not in the first season. So there might be more supernatural shit coming.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who
I know what
actually
you guys are
knows?
talking about. Yes. I forgot it existed, but yes, with Falcon is in it.
Yeah, Anthony
Yeah.
Mackie.
I have little to no interest in it. I don't know. Twisted Metal's not... Again, I'm not a fan of racers at all. The fact that I had this much fun with the game kind of speaks to it. This is not my style of game at all. I don't play these type of games. I don't care for kart. I haven't played a kart racer. You know, actually, like, seriously played a kart racer probably not since Double Dash.
That's a good one, though.
Yes, but I just don't play them. They're not my style of game. I mean, I did play Mega Man Battle and Chase for this podcast, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, there's an obscure reference right there. Wow.
That was only on the podcast because I wanted to play Mega Man. That's it. So that's not a great game, by the way. But that is on this podcast. But this game really surprised me. Like, there's so many different modes in here, like the battle mode where you'll fight different characters and the way the weapons work. And the campaign really kind of feels like Bloodborne. It feels like it follows. You had the boss fight with Father Gregory, Father Garamond. But that was so. First, you race him, and then after you race him, when you get his health down, no, you don't race. You race him, or do you have to you're just kind of fighting him in a big arena?
You race him, you get to the arena, and then you do the initial fight with him, and that's when, much like Gascoigne, he switches into his bestial form. But instead of doing slash attacks at you, he pulls out a freaking minigun,
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
God, it's so good.
I got happy. I was like, okay, this is not what I expected. I really enjoyed it when he pulled out the minigun, and I died the first time too. I'm like, I wasn't expecting that. Then I beat him the next time, but it was just really cool. I was fascinated how much fun I was having.
Well, I'm glad.
Because I didn't expect that. And I just loved seeing all the characters that were so much like, Bloodborne characters. I mean, how one of the levels is you driving through what was in the Nightmare's Dream... The Hunter's Nightmare, not the Academy, but whatever the hell that, like, where they're doing the experiments on, where you're in the hospital type setting.
Oh, the clinic?
Yeah, when you're on the way to Maria, that place, like, she pretty much made it as a race. You know, you have the same enemies that are wandering around. Like, also, in this kart race, you have random enemies you can just kill that help you boost your speed, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have your normal
Cool.
fodder, your skeletons, your giant mice, etc., etc. And in the multiplayer, you can actually play as any of the fodder characters.
Yes.
And the best part is, so you scroll over to fodder, and then instead of going left and right to switch your character, when you're on fodder, you can go up and down to flick through all of them. This game supports cheat codes. And if you type in YEAG as a cheat code, you can unlock Bunlith as a fodder.
Unlock who?
The developer.
Oh, that's cool. These just little things that just make this game so damn impressive. And this game deserves so much more than I think it Well, I mean, maybe this game, it just came out. It's just a free game, but still, it's just so fucking cool. I just like the way everything looked. I loved how as I was playing through everything, I'm like, oh, that's this from Bloodborne, that's this from Bloodborne. That's like, I was doing that constantly, and I really liked that too. That made me feel good. It also made me realize how much I really love Bloodborne and how upset I am that there's not more.
I am posting in the group chat what her character model looks like. Both.
I know she's in the game too, because I was watching. There aren't very many YouTube videos about this game. Actually, there's very few. I found out while trying to.
Yeah,
learn.
when I streamed the game, the number one speedrunner for the game showed up.
Which is super cool, by the way, Phoebe.
Hobo Mice is super nice, and I want to see more people speedrun this game. It deserves this type of love.
I mean, if you like kart racers, why not?
I'm wondering if people thought this game got canceled after the cease and desist.
Oh, that wouldn't stop her. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have had to legally. Well, AM2R still came out after the cease and desist.
Yeah,
or did he get it right afterwards?
He just couldn't develop it anymore. So people have modded that game to this point. There's a multiplayer mod and everything.
Yeah.
I always like when people are like, AM2R doesn't exist. I'm like, you say that. It's on my computer, guys. Like,
it's on a USB. Who wants a copy? And now we have AM64, another Metroid 64.
We never got
That's
a Metroid
going to get
64.
canceled so fast.
I don't know why people fuck with Nintendo like that. I mean, I don't like them, but they are very notorious to stop anything.
Yeah, just ask Pal World.
Oh my god.
I hope that does not win, because that is what they are trying to claim is ridiculous.
Well, apparently it's come out now that the patents that they're potentially saying are infringed were not filed until after Pal World came out.
Oh, then they're fucked.
Yeah, the funniest thing I find about that, and this is an aside, is that happens. That Nintendo comes out and says we're suing Pal World, and then the very next day is the State of Play, where Pal World is introduced for the PS5.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's released everywhere but Japan, apparently.
I mean, it's just so stupid. But, this does fit what we're talking about. I mean, this is an example of... Pal World's not a fan game made by one person or anything like that, but it's the same idea that companies just being assholes for no reason. Because they can be. Because Pal World is taking Nintendo's lunch and eating it with Pokemon because they didn't do something that they're doing.
But again, it shows that if you do an homage instead of a straight ripoff, you can get away with some stuff because you're not.
Yeah.
Like, look at Pizza Tower or Anton Blast. Those are clearly Wario Land games.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't use Wario. They're not making new aspects that hinge on Nintendo's IP. They're just very much love letters to that.
I'm sure Nintendo gets upset every time that one of those gets released and they legally can't do anything.
I mean, how many fan Zelda games or Zelda inspired games are out there?
Oh god, Castaway, Island of Sea and Skies. And there's so many.
But I just, when someone loves the franchise, people want to make more with this. I mean, somebody, they love Bloodborne and just every way that she captured it, like the way the werewolves look, like little enemies that you kill, there's some big giants. I'm like, everything just made me keep thinking of Bloodborne and keep smiling. I smiled the entire time I played through the game, even when I fought the terrible Nicholas boss, which brought back painful memories. And I thought of Phoebe, I bet Phoebe's not liking this fight.
I didn't have that much of a problem the first time around. He took every hit like a champ. The real
time. Nicholas.
Oh,
or Mikolash.
Yeah, Mikolash was an absolute bitch.
I wonder having PTSD from that. Like, oh, not again, this fucker.
Well, no, like the first time I fought Nicholas, he was so easy. He didn't hit me once. Then when I went back to get the moon shard, he was so aggressive. Something in his AI just changed, and I was like, okay, you're not Gandhi from Civilization. Calm down, please.
I don't get that reference, and I'm sad.
Oh, a quick explanation of it?
Sure. I never played Civilizations. I know who Gandhi is.
They tried to make him so peaceful that they set his aggression to, I think, either a 0 or a -1 when they first introduced him. But the problem is, many games back then do an overflow thing where, oh, I don't understand negative numbers. I guess I'll just jump to the highest number possible. So they accidentally made him the most aggressive thing in the entire game.
And they have left it for the whole series. Haven't changed it at all.
A lot of RPGs from back then have the same type of glitch. So you can do stuff in like Secret of Evermore where you can underflow your damage to -1, and then your damage becomes 9999.
Oh, I'm actually gonna play that game for this podcast.
Excellent. Secret
hopefully.
Evermore is fantastic.
I know one person to contact then. All right. Secret Evermore is one of those games that I've never finished, and I bought a player's guide for it back when it was new, and I played it multiple times as a kid and never finished it. I don't think I even owned it, to be honest. But like, it's just one of those games where I'm like, I just need to play this and beat it, and the podcast is the only way that's gonna happen. So
Just remember the box cover for that game scared me as a little kid. That's the one with like the
That's
giant
fair.
bug creature,
Yeah,
right?
the rat,
where you see its heart.
the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a scary cover. It bothered me too as a kid, so I understand. Even like the battle arenas in this game are really fun. Like this game switches up, like we were talking about earlier, like the races, you have the battles. Like I enjoyed all of it. At one point you fought the legally distinctive the Shadows of Yharnam. Like I like that.
The
And the
Matilda
snakes.
sisters. Yeah, I said, yep, the Matilda sisters.
I liked that. Like I just was having so much fun. And wasn't the final fight with Gurman in this game? Or was there a final fight that I know I didn't see the real final fight.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I beat this a week ago. I didn't think this game would go by so fast. Like I should have known. It said an hour and a half, but I just laid down on the couch and just played this game an hour and a half sitting.
I mean, you had me come on for Bloodborne. It took me, 5 to 6 hours speed running to go through all of Bloodborne.
Which I did not expect.
Holy crap.
I mean, she was on New Game Plus, and so...
Yeah, but I have never done a Beast Claw run before, and it turns out Beast Claws are really fun.
Yeah, Bloodborne is so damn good. I've still been thinking about that game since we did the episode.
Same.
Like, I still, I can't go back and play games usually again because, well, I have a schedule to adhere to. And time is not the kindest mistress. So, like, I have not, but I keep thinking about it. I mean, I stopped watching videos of it. I have a thing where I try to, like, move on to whatever the next game is and then focus on that for a week and then move on to the next one. But I still think about Bloodborne a lot. That's one reason why this is here. I asked Nate to join us, but Nate played 5 minutes of this and went, nope, and uninstalled it and said, nope, I can't.
What was Colby's response?
He's sleeping. But
Did he not give an idea of whether or not he was going to...
he hated it. He hated Kart Racer.
I thought he said he was going to come on and talk about why it was awful. Did he?
Yes, he was. But unfortunately, timing did not work. Sleep overcame him. He's in the dream. He's in the hunter's dream right now. I hope he listens to this. But I did want him to come, but I don't like kart racers either, but I had fun with this. Apparently you just stick on the right coat of paint. I'm in. I mean, I do like Mario Kart a lot. So again, the right coat of paint.
You just have to think that this is something that was done for fun and done to pay a weird version of tribute to something that the developer loved. And at the end of the day, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it fits what a game needs to fit. It's fun. I mean, sure, it's a short game, but even if this had a small price tag, like, it still would be well worth it. Because it's a very quality game, and it changes up enough things. I felt the courses are all pretty good. Like, I didn't have any... I mean, sure, some are smaller, but I thought they're fine. I loved all the courses. I felt like it fit the story of Bloodborne, essentially. You know, where it kind of goes through what you would do in the game.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that. And then even the ending that you get when you get to Father Garamond, you even get the Herman. You get to say, you know, do you refuse or accept? Just like in Bloodborne.
Which one did you pick?
I think I refused.
And got hit by the cars?
I can't remember. But yes.
That's exactly what happened.
If you accept, you take Herman's place and you're in the wheelchair. It is just 1-to-1.
I was in the wheelchair, so maybe I did accept and not refuse.
If you refuse, you wake up and you start looking around like you do in the normal Bloodborne ending. And then all of a sudden, 2 cars burst through the wall and run you over.
That's away right before it hits you, yeah, but you hear the noise.
That's funny.
And then you have the potential true ending.
I think it's so cool that she put this in here.
Yeah. Did you see it?
No, not yet.
Can you guess what happens?
Well, okay, I saw a little bit. You fight the fake moon presence.
Yeah, and you become a slug.
Ah, that's awesome!
Still can't believe that's a candidate.
Well, because the slugs are the gods, or
Right,
essentially
yeah.
what some of the people like the enlightened. Because I think you do see slugs in Bloodborne 2 at different points.
Is it Bloodborne 2?
No, in Bloodborne 2, TOO.
I was going to say, man, you just got her all excited.
I mean, there probably is a Bloodborne 2 in some parallel world that we don't exist in.
I truly believe the reason why Sony shot this down is because Bluepoint is making a Bloodborne remake.
They are?
Wait, are
They
they?
have to be, because Blue Point is known specifically for making remakes, and they got bought by Sony, so they have to be working on something.
I thought they were doing a Metal Gear Solid 1 remake.
I know Delta's the 3 remake, but I think that's Konami in-house.
Yeah, but there was rumor that Blue Point was doing Solid 1. Because I think in their last, I don't remember what their last game was, but there was like the noise that Metal Gear Rex makes is like in the background of one of the scenes.
That's awesome.
Oh.
I kill for that.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 could use a remake. I mean, it already got a good remake, but...
I'm so surprised Konami is making new games.
We'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah. There will probably be some type of pachinko or slot machine thing inside of Delta.
If these games have any negative, like if Silent Hill 2 doesn't make the $1 billion, I doubt they're going to be very happy afterwards.
It's Bloober Team. It's going to be a 6 out of 10 at best.
I know, but they don't give a shit. They just want to sell.
To be fair, the new trailer for Delta looked amazing, so I'm optimistic about that one.
I mean, I'm just happy that Konami's making games. I'm just happy that new games are coming out that I can play in 10 years.
Don't worry, Silent Hill Townfall will come out, and that'll be the best one, because it's the Stories Untold people, and that's one of the best horror games I've ever played.
Isn't that, though, Annapurna is working on that, and everyone just quit at Annapurna?
That's actually a really good question.
One of them is something. I think something's Annapurna. That's a whole other conversation. Again, don't work in the video game industry. Like Phoebe, you dodged a bullet, sort of.
Yeah.
I would say you dodged a bullet, but then you also went to Nebraska. So
developed
you dodged a bullet and jumped in the trap.
Konami Digital Entertainment and Annapurna Interactive. Well, fuck my life.
So, anything else about Bloodborne Kart that we should... Oh, I want to talk about the Nicholas fight real quick. Like how they make you chase him and like he goes through different portals. That was really cool, I felt.
Yeah, it's 1-to-1.
It's so cool. Like just... I had so much fun. You can also boost in this game too. She brought back the vials, and the vials that you use in the boost. You also have a weapon that you get throughout at one point in this game that uses the vials as your ammo. Like so many little things that are just so cool, and you get vials by boosting. Everything was just so much fun and simple.
And
I loved it.
When you're fighting Miralodia as the true final boss, you get the Moonbeam Sword because every game must have the Moonbeam Sword.
That's awesome. That's really cool that she did that. When I found out there was a true ending, I kind of cared it, but not enough to actually reinstall and replay through this game. So
you know what it is. It's slog.
I mean, I had fun, but it was just I don't know. I didn't play much games this week at all, to be honest.
The fun part is that she's supposed to be working on DLC for this. But Old Hunters is kind of already mixed into the story, so this is going to be new content.
I mean, it could just be other stuff that she just didn't touch and just works it into. I mean, there's still a lot of things she didn't get from Bloodborne.
Are we ready for Orphan of Kos?
Oh God, I want to know how that will play. That would be interesting.
There's also there's a lot of different. Yeah, you can play different carts, different characters. I mean, there's a lot to this little game, this little fan game. Except now it's not really a fan game. Now it's a real release.
So worth it.
And it's just long enough too. It's not. It didn't overstay its welcome. I was happy. I had fun. But again, I can't spend a lot of time in a kart racer in general. I would get very bored. Hence the reason why Sonic Racing has never been on this podcast. Even I want to play those.
Oh
because
Sonic Team Racing Transformed it's so much.
Yeah, I played a little bit of them before because I went through phases where I get into kart racing, but it doesn't stick long. Like I've been wanting to put Mario Kart, the original one, on this podcast for 5 years. Still haven't done it because it's a kart racer.
You need to put F-Zero on here.
No, don't.
That. And I know a guy too that would join me in a heartbeat for F-Zero. I've never played F-Zero either, but I don't want to. So that's the secret. I'm not a racing fan. Like that's what I was also impressed that this game grabbed me as much as it did because I don't like racing games, but this was just had enough of the cool paint that I like that it just worked for me. Phoebe, anything else that you want to say that we might have not talked about?
I feel like there's something, but I can't think of it.
Good, I'll blabble. I'll make up words and keep talking. So that's a joke that's been ongoing to this podcast too. Bill had once made a comment about that a long time ago in one of our many recordings. He's like, Mike just makes up his own words and it works. So that's what I do sometimes. And the best part, none of them are usually on purpose. So I did like the Pocket Dream. I think it was Pocket Dream course is like the one of the last races that you do. One that's kind of like you were comparing to Rainbow Road.
Oh, it's just Rainbow Road. Even
I had no problem with any of the courses. I had no problem with the way I with the weapons. I like that the mine is a Molotov cocktail. There would have been nice to have a couple more, but that was fine. Like the guns were fun. The boosting I thought was good. I do laugh at one of the racing vehicles is you wear a cage in your head and then you just run on the map.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to be the baby Margot in a little crib? Do you want a clock? Do all of it. It's great.
And it all fits the game. I mean, I think a werewolf is one of the playable characters too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, and apparently the cleric beast is also in this game as one of the monsters you kill early on.
Yep.
Just in the tracks. I thought that was cool. She did that. Like, and it feels like Yarnum. It really does. I kind of wish I wish I could have seen the game that she originally was making before Cease and Desist, because I bet it would have been like. I mean, I know it's the same game, but just see the artwork that she had that would have been Yarnum and the things that weren't different. Like, I bet that would have been really cool to see.
I just found something on the TV tropes that is absolutely hilarious.
What's that?
So this entire game was Bloodborne Kart. And then became Nightmare Kart. The rebranded name is
Oh.
a reference to the PlayStation 1 horror game Nightmare Creatures. The title is shouted out in a similar manner upon hitting start.
That's funny.
That's great.
That's a franchise that people that's a franchise that's dead. The last game that came out for that franchise was on Kinect 360.
Was it?
I think 360, or maybe
Wait, I was gonna say, are you saying Rise of Nightmares is a Nightmare Creatures game?
Yeah, I don't think
It
that
is.
is. Is it?
It is 100%. I'm 95% sure I'm right. Let's find out.
I was about to say, fan canon is always right in my mind, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I thought that would be great if that series came back.
I thought
that
it was.
That was Bloodborne before Bloodborne.
By the
really.
way, this game has voice acting. It's the most indie voice act, or the most indie game possible, but the voice acting in it is surprisingly superb.
No, I thought there was a Nightmare Creatures game for Kinect, unless I was confusing. Maybe I'm completely crazy.
Join the club.
Nope, that was okay. Rise of Nightmare. Rise of Nightmare was something else, and it looks like this is was two games that I played a little bit of them for PS. Or was it one game, Nightmare Creatures?
It was two.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a dead series, so hey, she had nothing to worry about. The developers are it was owned published by Activision.
Oh yeah, you're never going to see it. Well, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They don't have any IPs either, right? So, didn't they say something stupid like that?
Call of Duty and nothing else. It'll be a DLC skin in Call of Duty whenever it comes.
Shut up. That hurts so much.
So were you a fan of Nightmare Creatures, Phoebe?
No, I never got to play it.
Oh.
No, I played it. They were great. They were essentially Bloodborne before Bloodborne was a thing.
I didn't like them when I played them as a kid on PS1. They also kind of scared me a little bit.
The darkest games that we owned were for the PlayStation 1 were Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Medieval. Medieval.
There's another kind of dead franchise.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of that one too, but that's not a game that I was really I wasn't into it. Also, why it's never been on this podcast. So you notice there's a trend of the type of stuff I go with. All right. We are definitely rambling. Okay, any last thing to say about Nightmare Kart, Bloodborne Kart? Okay.
Not that? Nope.
Yep.
I'm trying, but I'm running out of stuff to say.
It's simple, but yet here we are rambling on. I just want to continue talking about it and play it.
This is games my mom found. That's what we do is ramble. So, it's not wrong. But, all right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And I'm going to go first. I think I'm going to surprise Phoebe. So, Phoebe, actually, I should ask you, Phoebe, what do you think? What is your estimate that I'm going to say? Or before we do this podcast?
I'm thinking you're going to say stack.
Okay. Joseph?
Yeah, I'm going to go stack as well. I think you're going to say stack.
I'm going to say shelf.
Ooh.
So, I don't normally do that, but I wanted to get your guys' opinion just because I was curious. I really, really had fun. I enjoyed my hour and a half with this game. It was a blast. I didn't want to put it down. I just had fun. And, yes, I didn't play it again, but that's because I have other stuff to do and I'm neglecting my duties this week. And I just wasn't in the right mood. But it was fun. It was a really fun hour and a half romp. I'm so glad it exists. And I'm glad that Phoebe made that suggestion on Discord. think over a year ago, and I finally said, fuck it, I need something that isn't a movie to fit in the Spooktober, and here we are. So I am thank you, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Going on the shelf. And Joseph, what about you?
Yeah, this is going on the shelf as well. I really enjoyed my time with this. It does a great job of adapting the Bloodborne story, also getting that PS1 aesthetic, and it has a lot of replayability, and ultimately it's just a really fun time, and I think anybody will really enjoy this. Even if you don't like kart racers, I recommend you give it a shot.
No, I agree, because I'm not a fan of kart racers, and I had a blast, so it can work. And Phoebe.
Shelf, all the way. I can't wait to play this game again and get all the achievements. I can't wait for the DLC to come out as well. You hear that, Kobe? 3 shelves.
I can tell you where Kobe would put this without even talking to him. I know where he'd put this. But that's because it took one of his favorite, his favorite game. I think Bloodborne was his favorite game of all time, or at least it was top 3. I can't remember, even though we did talk about this.
I mean, Bloodborne is one of my favorite FromSoft games. If it wasn't for Armored Core 6, it would be my favorite game by From Software. But I choose to see this as its own independent thing that's far away from that. And judging it on its own morals, it's a shell.
No, it definitely is. But I also think Kobe doesn't like kart racers, which is a fair. I don't like kart racers, but I had fun with this, so I got nothing to stand on. But I think it just depends on what you're into. But I'm just so happy that this exists. So, and when you first suggested, I never thought it would actually happen on the show because I didn't think it would actually come out or ever exist. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So, but here we are. So yeah, I think that's everything. And Phoebe, where can people find you at?
Hi, I am the Let's Play Princess. You can find me over on Twitch and YouTube as the Let's Play Princess, as well as on Twitter as the LP Princess. You should also go listen to Nerds a Broadcast, where me and my co-host Ian, or Teacher Bloke 85, just completely bullshit about all things nerdy.
It's a fun show. I'm on it too, which might have aired by the time you hear this in October. I don't know.
Probably not. Let's go with January.
Oh, this comes out mid-October when you'll be hearing this. So, hey, let's listen to it later. I might be.
We would love to have you on again.
Hey, I will gladly do that. So, if you enjoyed this episode, there are over 680 other episodes of this podcast. You can find everything we do on Podbean. If you want to listen to our Bloodborne episode, go on Podbean, search Bloodborne. That's there too. So definitely go check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon. A little dog. You can vote in our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 every month, so you get to affect the show. Great. Because some of the stuff that goes in the polls never comes back. So, I mean, because it isn't stuff I actually want to do. A lot of time when stuff ends up on polls, because I let other people make polls a lot. So definitely a great way to support the show, and it makes me happy. So, hey, that's what matters. And join our Discord if you want to chat with us. You want to be on the show. That's how you do it. Because for most episodes, I asked for on the Discord people to join me, like this one. So definitely go do that. You will see a link in every episode for the show notes of that. So definitely go do that. I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. And I want to give a shout out to Bill Tucker, the Gamer Looks At 40. Definitely go check out his podcast too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok. Squirrel videos usually, but hey, I'm on TikTok. I just make animal videos. I haven't figured out how to make content for TikTok for this show without putting actual effort in, which I don't want to do. So, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast, please. Helps out the show a lot. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, lowly hunters.
Enjoy the hunt. Bye-bye.